We're back at it again, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Glad you made it. It's not a social production. We're doing it on Wednesday, May the 22nd. Wednesday, yeah, that's right. To the 22nd of May, the 2024. Wherever you're tuning in from, if it's Canada, Wagwan. Down south in the United States, as per usual, Mexico, South America, over there in Europe, Africa, Asia, Middle East, Antarctica, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, Australia, Taiwan, Bangkok, the Philippines, over there in Zimbabwe, Cote d'Ivoire, Spaniel. Hello, everybody. Bumba clot, doing it. Ladies and gents, if you've been with me from the beginning of the little journey, thank you for all the love and support. Sending it right back to you. If you're just joining us today, buckle up, buckle down. What do? We talk about nothing, everything and nothing. And we have a little bit of fun twice a week for the time being until everything changes, because everything can change on a, I don't know, really quick, like on a, super quick. And that's the way she blows. So that's what it is. And again, if you've been with me from the get-go, you know what it is. Welcome to the program. The syndicate is back at it again. The familia is doing it, globally speaking. Well, let's get a sip of this. Caffeinated, feeling good. But I also got them seasonal allergies, which is nice. So I got myself this little, I'm prepared. Your boy is prepared. I came with this. This is multi-purpose TP. This is not just for masturbating and cleaning up after yourself. This is also if you've got them sniffles. I'm not gonna say the brand, but I'm just saying if you're a TP producer, we could work together. Because I cleaned the jizz with this, and if today, during this whole 45-minute, 50-minute, hour and 10-minute long conversation, should your boy start sneezing because it's them allergies that just come out of nowhere, creepy out, I don't know how long it'll last. Thank you for asking. Thank you for your question. Sometimes it's just, we're transitioning from winter to spring. It's just a few days, sometimes a couple of weeks, sometimes a little bit longer. Sometimes it doesn't even happen at all. So I don't know what's going on, but I'm leaking from the nostrils, which is nice. Because then I don't have to, if anybody's asking, oh, is everything okay? Why you got them sniffles? Why are your eyes watery? I can stand up tall as a man with my chest out and say, no, not in my feelings, simply allergies. Okay, I could be in my feelings, but I could say it's allergies, which is nice. So I like allergies because it's a nice cover for in case you're in your feelings. And God, aren't we all sometimes? And we quickly get out of them though, don't we? That's right. I'll say this. Aloha, everybody. Aloha snack bar, everyone. Aloha snack bar, family, friends, members of the conglomerate. One love. We're doing it too, but Aloha snack bar. Let's just get into it. This is Wednesday. Let's have some fun, shall we? It's the wrong brothers. So you got the wrong brothers in here now. You got the wrong brothers. So you heard of the right brothers, but nobody talks about the wrong brothers. The brothers that couldn't do anything right. The brothers that did it, or at least did it their own way. The brothers. The wrong, but when people took a left, they always took a right. The wrong brothers. Lefty loosey, righty tighty, not for the wrong brothers. They be doing it whenever everybody was doing clockwise, them boys, because they the wrong brothers. Counterclockwise, thank you very much. When everybody puts their pants the one leg at a time, they get fabric stiffening spray and they spray it on their pants so their pants become extremely stiff, and then they put it across their room and just dive into it and they slide in because why? They're the wrong brothers now. When everybody was concerned with flying and how to take off, go up in the air, them boys wanted to drill down because them wrong brothers. But yeah, nobody talks about them, and that's a little, because before the Wright brothers, there are a ton of activities that went on and it was all conducted by the wrong brothers. But no, let's hear that story. Let's hear the story of, wrong brothers, wrong place, wrong time. But hey, it could happen to anybody, wrong place, wrong time. And it's just a matter, let's remember that one. Wrong place, wrong time, and the wrong brothers, and you just, But Aloha Snack Bar, everybody. Aloha Snack Bar. Let's just get into it. What's my favorite position? What's your favorite position? What's my favorite position? First of all, I like standing up straight. Standing up straight is one of my favorite positions. This is one of my favorite positions. This right here. You're looking at it. This is one of the best positions a man could, or a woman could wish for. This is upright. It's my, 2/3 of the day I'm upright. So also one of my favorite positions, being upright, just standing on 2 feet. That's one of my favorite positions. I do enjoy being horizontal for 1/3 of the day. So that's I guess I'm not going to put it into order but if I were to say what's being horizontal, just being horizontal is my second favorite position. That's my favorite position, if you're wondering. But what's your favorite position out there? Leave a comment. I'd like to sometimes I also like this. I find this is a good position. This is, because nobody, this could, without the words, this could, it could be so many things. That's one of my favorite positions. Palms up, just out here, just, this could say, come into my arms, or it could also mean what is going on? I don't know. This is one of my favorite positions. I'm just gonna stand here and just feel it out. Is this a little bit of precipitation? Am I feeling a little bit of drizzle on my hands, or it's just somebody jizzing from above? What is it? Figure it out. It's, but those are just 3 of my favorite positions. Another favorite position of mine, I like to just get into tight little corners. I'll just if I find a corner, any room, put me in I do really well in a corner. So that's one of my positions. I will just, I will stand in a corner and just spin and spin in a corner, because that's one of my favorite positions, but nobody talks about it. Another favorite position, because this is specifically out for a lot of people specifically. I think it's misguided to only say that couples can only talk about their favorite position. One of my favorite positions, up on the chandelier, when I'm swinging on the chandelier back and forth, just, it doesn't happen too often that I'm in a place where it has chandeliers, but if it does have a chandelier and there's a nice little party going on with people, I love getting on a chandelier, just swinging. That's one of my favorite positions. One of my favorite positions, especially in the evening when it's dark. A chandelier that's actually not lit, but I could still swing on it. You're like, why would? Because in the evening I don't need to wear pants because it's dark. I don't even know why people wear pants in the evening. Because if we're all in the shadows, why do you need pants? I mean, I guess it makes sense to wear a top, but why do you need pants? You know what I mean? Most often you're not even looking. Half the time you guys don't even know if I'm wearing pants unless I step back. So really, in the evening, that's when I go pantless, and it's nice. I suggest you try it out more often as well. It's especially if there's no lights, if there are no candles, if there's no, once the sun sets, pants are off. It's redundant. What are we doing here? Extra work? So those are some of my favorite positions, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Boys and girls, ladies and gents. They ask a lot of questions, and I'm here to answer some of them. They say, what are some of the best methods and practices when it comes to breaking an arm? If you're wondering how do I break an arm? Google, how do I break an arm? Ask an uncle. How do I break an arm? Ask an aunt. But maybe you don't have family members. Maybe you don't have friends. Maybe some conversations you don't feel like talking to anybody about. And it's one of those things where it's let me just find it. How to break an arm is, you could easily, again, it's one of those things that doesn't get discussed. I feel like it's just, but it's okay. I like to be able to have that. This is the type of circle that we are. This is the type of hole that we are. We talk about everything, even the stuff that makes people be like, whoa. How to break an arm. Honestly, I say I'm a big just minimalist, do it yourself sort of fellow. It's nice to go out there and outsource stuff, but when you can do it on you, one of the best methods I'd say is just like trip and fall. Trip and fall, and a lot of people like put their hands out, try to catch. If you just go live on an arm and just land on it in an awkward position, crack that arm right open, crack it open. Bones just sticking out. That's one method. A lot of people think, oh, I need a lot of money, I need a lot of like fancy equipment, where you don't, dude. Ladies and gents, I'm here to tell you, man, don't let your dreams just be dreams. If you want to break an arm, it's as simple as open a door, any door, which knock knock, who's there? Your arm between the door, slam the door shut on your arm, boom, broken arm. Simple. It's so a lot of, again, it's just, I hate to see people limiting themselves, getting their own, like, you know, it's just step out of your own way, let it happen naturally, open it, leave the arm in, slam it shut right there, broken arm. It's so simple. It's literally two steps. Open the door, slam it shut on your arm, broken arm. You're welcome. You know, get a grandma who's like 175 to sit behind her Buick on a couple of books, because she needs the elevation for the height, because she's tiny now. She's like 3 inches tall, and she's behind a steering wheel. She has a stack of books, but get her to back up with her Buick in your arm against the wall or something. Boom, easy peasy. Broken arm right there. You know, a lot of people like to, you know, travel to different climates for, you know, I like to go to the Antarctica, I like to go to the Alaskas, I like to, Aloha snack bar, mi familia. Aloha snack bar to you all. But if you go into colder regions where it's slippery when wet, because it's ice, slip and fall on your arm. Once again, it's so simple. A lot of times we just make it way too complicated, you know? If somebody's at, like, you know, if you're like, oh, how do I, you know, go to a baseball game, them boys are carrying bats. Somebody pitches, as if you can just travel faster than 100 kilometers an hour, because I believe that's roughly the speed of the ball in the MLBs or whatnot. So as soon as the ball is released from the pitcher's, if you can get between the ball and the batter before the batter makes contact with the ball, get them, because they're swinging. If you can just get in front of that guy, broken arm in 2 seconds. So again, if you are, you know, lift something extremely heavy, beyond your, like when it says, oh, do not lift, most places when they're hiring, they're like, if there's any sort of physical endeavor, they're like, oh, can you lift up to 40 pounds? They'll say that. Look for a job that requires you to like lift 800 pounds and then drop it on yourself, but specifically your arm. But this could actually be easily applied to any other bodily, you know, but I'm just arm specific today, just arms, because that's easy to get, you know, it's overwhelming. You're like, there's so many body parts. How do I break each of the, let's just start with the basics. The arm is the simplest one. Go to a karate championship and put on a suit, wear a belt, pretend like you're actually adequate enough to get in there with and let them, you know, just kick your arm. You'll break it instantly. Simple. Again, you don't need to spend a lot of money. A lot of people are like, I don't know how to start. It's simple, and it's great because, you know, it allows you to take some downtime. If you got a broken arm, nobody asks you for a hand when you got a broken arm. You could be in the middle of, your wife could be pregnant. We all babies coming, can't be there. Why? Broken arm. Emergency call from the office. You got to get down here. Can't. Why? Broken arm. Understood. No worries. You know, it's beautiful, and I just like to share with you guys and gals out there. So don't limit yourself. Slam it, you know. And you're like, I don't have a door that. Car door will do just fine. If you don't have a reliable, hefty door at your place, a car door, it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be a Rolls Royce. There are a lot of people are like, man, I can't break my arm unless it's in a Rolls Royce. You don't need it. On it, it could be just your average everyday. Just slam it right hard on your arm and you'll break it. Simple, very simple. Doesn't get talked about again because they want you to go out, take this program. Get a CD, pop the CD in the CD player, watch a video. I'm telling you right here, fam, this right here is the blueprint of how to break your arm Again, that's the thing. I don't want you to become like dependent. So you're like, oh, but I need to. Once you got the basics of how to break an arm, you can pretty much apply that to any other body part, and you're good to go for life. Life. You're welcome, everybody. Just give them back. Sip to the get. Aloha snack bar. I'll say this, I was a little bit disappointed because boys out there, singles, doing the singles life, living the life of the dream of the, pursuing dreams that are, you take one little teeny tiny, and you don't have time for anything else after that. It's not much. Best you could hope for, you squeeze in a little bit of the sex, and that's pretty much it. But that's fine. That's fine. Sacrifices need to be made. Nuts need to be nutted via hand. Lefty, thank you very much. But that's fine. Sometimes you might get a little bit of rejection. That's completely part of the game too. That's completely part of the game too, which is nice. But sometimes you might wonder if there's, and you hear things and you're like, man, how do I get access to such things as the boom boom room? Where you heard of it, you were like, oh man, the boom boom room. I'm gonna go in the boom boom room, and there's this place that inside another place. It's kind of like Russian dolls, a place within a place that's got a boom boom room in the back. People getting it on, and you're excited. You filled all your pockets with all the coins ready to tip via metal, precious, because coins are king. That's when it comes to currency. Coin is king. They say that. Coinage is kingage. Pockets filled with, in our case, Canadians, loonies. That's how we tip, with loonies, and everybody gets it. G-string or no G-string, you're getting a loony. That's what it is. That's great. Because it's easy to crumple paper. You lose paper, but coinage. Hard to lose coinage. You can collect it up your ass or your vag, and it will stay intact, and it won't get wrinkled and too wet. Because I remember one time putting dollar bills up my vag, and all of them got ruined. Dry cleaning this, get an ironing. It's just too much. Coinage works best. So I'll say this, ladies and gents. Aloha snack bar, but that's the thing. You walk into the boom boom room, thinking that this is the designated room. The name is boom boom room. We're gonna get some boom boom in this room. That's what it is. That's what I'm here for. But then you walk in and all you see is just a bunch of dudes and ladies holding up microphones attached to sticks, because they're the audio department. Apparently they work with sound, and first, you didn't even notice. You're like, okay, all right, I didn't bring my boomstick. All right, I'm not acoustically, prepared for what's about to go down. I didn't know it was that kind of boom, boom, boom. I didn't know there was a prerequisite for me to go to sound and engineering school to step into the boom, boom room. But all right, I forget. Does anybody have any spare booms that I could, and everybody's like, well, bro, you got to bring your own boom. And you're like, I brought the lube, if anyone. And everybody's like, why did you bring lube? And so it's very confusing, a little bit disappointing. I'll say this: if you too are stepping into the boom boom room, make sure you read the fine print. Make sure you know what kind of establishment you're walking into, because all you could be looking for in the afternoon is a little bit of vag, a little bit of juicy booty action, a little bit of titties or something, and then all you see is just men and women who are hardworking and appreciated nonetheless. But I'm just saying, it's just nice to know, if you go to the boom boom room, that you're not going to be in line to get a job as the, again, sound engineering, or and again, everybody's approved, but talk about the wrong place, wrong time. Talk about, great. I'm happy that the people that focused or enter, that's what they make great things happen. That's not what we're here for. A little bit of vag, a little bit of just an all action. Just a little bit of an all action, a little bit of 2.5, 3.5. 4 and 7/5, four play, 6.5 play, a little bit of just numbers games, a little bit of, but that's all it is. Boom Boom Room's apparently all about sound, apparently all about the echoes, vibrations. And I wasn't sure, but it took me a while to figure it out. Yeah, there was no sex whatsoever, all about sound, which is whatevs, to each their own. I'm not here to say that I was disappointed. I'll be honest, I'll keep it $1.50. I was disappointed. But I did learn a lot about, again, acoustics, just, how to, different color sounds, pink noise, white noise, great. You learn a little bit each and every day. That's fine. It's okay. Boys and girls, ladies and gents, I'll say this. After you head to the Boom Boom Room and get a little bit disappointed, of course, you hear murmurs and rumors that there's going to be a cocktail party, which gets you excited because you're like, finally, a place that, at least if we're not going to get any action, we're going to talk about some action, a cocktail party where folks, when men and women gather to share tales of cocks. And I would imagine, again, some sort of combination of vag to ass, some sort of like titty work in there, but once again, you get in there, it's just a room filled with guys and ladies just sipping on drinks. What's that all about? Martinis, sangrias, a little bit of champagne, a little bit of bubbly here, a little bit of bubbly there, a little bit of bubbly here, a little bit of bubbly there. A little bit of Pinot Noir, a little bit of, a little bit of rosé, and it's just like, okay, all right, I'm down for a drink. It's not that I'm against, I like a good drink, I'll have a drink with you. But I hear no talk of cocktails. I hear no stories of how cocks potentially enter vages or, again, the anal canals. It's a little bit misleading. It's just, I feel a little bit taken advantage of in terms of, because, God, just naive that way, I guess. And whatever, it is what it is. But again, you go in there hoping that people are going to be talking about like, oh, this one time I was on a boat, cocks out, titties flying everywhere, doing a little bit of splish splash, a little bit of action, a little bit of rub a little bit of suntan lotion on my bod. I got my cock out, you got your badge out, bush fully intact, let's go. You think you're gonna hear some story along those lines, but it's all about, tell me about your day. What do you do for work? And they call it a cocktail party, so it's just, again, phrasing is key. Also, lessons learned, don't get your hopes up. Like, I've always had to, do not always just set the bar extremely low so that at least you go in there and they're like, yeah, it's that sort of party. Until you see it for yourself, man, don't believe the hype. That's what I'll say. But that's okay. Aloha snack bar, everybody. Ladies and gents, boys and girls. What's going on in and around the world? I'll say this. Aloha snack bar. I'm a big fan of, I will say this, I'm a big fan in terms of weather conditions. I'm a big fan of weather, climate, topography, a few things that you should know about me. Huge fan of fog. This guy, love me a good fog. Oh, to die for. Aloha snack bar. To die for, really. It's a good fog. I will lose my shit in a good, because it's hard to see. I will lose my shit in a good fog because it is hard to see. But a lot of people don't, it's one of those things, it's typical. You ask somebody, what's your favorite cloud? What's your favorite weather? What's your favorite temp? What room temp? Fan favorite, of course, sunny skies, all weekend long. Yeah. Not a cloud in sight, or, not a bird in sight, just a blue sky, not a large man in a tiny Speedo in sight, just blue sky, not a tiny man juggling a bunch of bunch of paraplegics with with this tiny speedo just juggling disabled people walking down, not a fella juggling a bunch of disabled people down the beach, just the bluest skies, and but that's most people's happens to be one of my favorite, temperatures, weathers, climates, whatever you want to call it. But fog is right there. I'll take a little bit of rain, I'll take a little bit of fog, please, and I'll take all of the fog. Oh man, the fog is like fog is basically Mother Nature's, smoke screen or smoke machine. More like a smoke machine. More like a smoke. Oh, before the the clubs and way back when they were called, discos and the fog and the strobe lights and the disco balls, and before Mother Nature came in, man, it was just like fog, and it was just like, it's all fair game now, and that's anything could happen. You could lose a family, you could gain a family. I've seen people walk into the fog single, come out the other side, wife and 2 kids. Crazy, but fog will do that to you. On the reverse of that, I've seen people walk in there with a whole tribe of people. Fog came out, everybody's missing, it's just one guy. What? Fog will do that to you as well. But fog is great. Fog is great if you want to play a little bit of Marco Polo and like have a little bit of a, just up the ante a little bit. Marco Polo, where are you? Down here. Where? Fell off the cliff. Because that's fog. Fog will, hide and go seek. My goodness, I've seen people be lost in a game of hide and go seek for over 25 years. Amazing, still going. The fog has not settled down. Let's go. But that's just fog, man. I love a good fog. Even in small places, if you make out in a car, with the windows up, it gets foggy, steamy, let's go. And you start writing little messages for people to read outside. Help me, or us. It's help us. Help me help you, whatever message you want to write. Or, just ask for a little bit of food. Can you bring some Gatorade? Write that on the window as you're humping. As you're humping and pumping. Fog is good in case, like showers. A hot, steamy shower will create some fog in there, and if you take a cold shower, it's nice. That's the type of fella or lady that's like about to go get it. But if you take a nice warm shower with a lot of fog, it's also not too shabs. It's not too shabs. I'll say this, man, a fella or a lady taking a hot shower, there's a lot of fog, can still come out and conquer the day. Can at least come out and say, you know what? I rubbed one out, and that took a little bit extra time, and the fog, well worth it. I feel relaxed now. But that's just a little bit of fog. I love fog. It's one of my, I like regions that, the UK is infamous, or no, rather famous, not infamous, or maybe infamous too. Famous for the fog. They call it the land of the fog. I'm actually not quite sure if they've ever called it the land of the, but they should. They should definitely incorporate that into some sort of, they should sell that on t-shirts. Land of the fog, welcome to the UK. It's foggy up in this bitch. Easy to find friends, easy to lose friends. It's good. The fog is, and it keeps it's good for your skin too. It keeps that, and a lot of people like to talk about, get this lotion and lather on layers of, you'd walk around summer, different buckets of lotion, moisturizing yourself and family members and friends, and everybody's just dripping all sorts of oil, and you smell like scented candles, which is nice, but it's just, at the end of the day, you got to take it all off, and it's like, ugh. And you got to get something sharp, like the edge of a knife, and just like, just scrape it off your skin. It's just too much. But when you're out there in the fog, man, you got a little bit of moisture in the air, your skin, your dermis is nice and tight. You've seen people in the fog. How old is that fella? Looks like he's in his 20s, or she looks like she's in her 30s. Happens to be like 1,000 years old. Why? Because the fog, it keeps you really, that's how you keep the skin tight. But Aloha snack bar, ladies and gentlemen. Aloha snack bar. Let's, but that's just a little bit of weather. That's just a little bit of me liking fog, and big fan of fog. This guy, big fog, love fog. Shout out to fog out there. Shout out to fog for all the hard work it does. Also, just shout out to mountains. Love mountains. Oh, you give me a mountain, I'll give you a happy little guy. This guy right here, just, just smiling at him. I'll stare at it. I'll stand still because of one of my favorite positions. Just I'll take it in. Just smiling ear to ear, eyebrow to eyebrow, eye to eye. Because that's, mountains are a great form of, if you want to get a little bit of, mountains are Mother Nature's incline, essentially, if you will. Because a lot of times we look at today and we're like, oh, I need an incline. I got to go get a stationary treadmill, put it on level 10 so I get that incline. Mother Nature came with that bitch and she's like, here we go, 90 degrees. Climb at your own risk. Bring a Sherpa, bring 2 Sherpas. Carry the Sherpa on your back. Put the Sherpa in your little pocket in case of emergencies. Rub his little head, blow him a little bit. There, he'll help you because he's a Sherpa. Put him in a little knapsack and just feed him and burp him and just take him on a trip with you. But come and climb this bitch, right? It's one of the mountains are, you'll see, and there's beautiful mountainous regions all great. I've never been to the Rockies. I'll say it's one of those things. Many places I like to go, of course, but that's, and in due time, who knows where we'll end up in this mystery that we call life. Who knows where each of us will end up? But that's one of the, I do like a good mountain. Oh man, you see a mountain goat just tiptoeing on high heels, and you're like, you don't need the high heels. It's already impressive, and this bitch is just fucking going on like, just trekking slivers of, just walking up this straight wall on the mountain. You're freaking out. You've already pissed yourself 7 times because it is uncharted territories, but nonetheless, you get motivated by the little goat and you're like, if he can do it, I can do it too. A couple of your friends fall and die, that's crazy, but you could still do it. The point is, I love mountains just because if there were no mountains, you'd only have flat surfaces, which is, mountains are essentially the tits and ass of the earth. So it's, if you don't like tits and ass on the earth, well then I don't think you like tits and ass on humans. If you don't appreciate nature's tits and ass, if you don't appreciate, that's what it is. Find a nice mountain with a nice curvature, and back in the day, mountains were like, some people view mountains as like sacred, this is a sacred mountain. It's been here for hundreds of millions of years. It's got something to it. Put your ear down on the ground, you'll hear something. And the ground's like, get off me. Why do you got your ear on me? Get off. But that's just mountains, man. I love the fog. I love the mountains. Big nature guy, this guy. Aloha snack bar, everybody. Recently, let's transition into some of the, global affairs, international global affairs. Nothing major, but things happen. Aloha snack bar, everybody. I believe recently there was a magic carpet that just crashed into the mountainous regions of the Middle East. It just crashed into a mountain. It was carrying the Iran's president / part-time trans activist, and apparently he's dead. Killed him. So, aloha snack bar, everybody. Aloha snack bar. I'll say this, it's, I wasn't there. Allegedly, rumors, apparently his beard, turban, and robe got caught in the propellers of the magic carpet. Magic carpet tried to get off. And it was too late. Right into foggy conditions, coincidentally, mountainous regions, flew right in. Just burned to a crisp or something. I don't know, but it's crazy. I believe there was a little bit of entanglement involving the heavy beardage game and the turban and the robe situation. The magic carpets are old. I'm saying that they need to check the magic carpets. I will say this. There was they searched, there was no sign of hummus. The beard, the turban, and the robe, it got away safe and sound. But the president / part-time trans activist of the Iran, dead. And it's one of those situations where it's tragic. I'll be honest, it's tragic because, and yeah, it's and on many levels really, because in his deep down inside in his heart, he had so much more potential for evil to give to the world, and he was, it's 50s, 60s. I don't know how old this hairy gorilla was, but again, so much hatred in that little heart of his to give to the world, and the world is now, it's it is tragic, and it's tragic because so much evil could have been, you know, countless people sent to, just people disappearing under his supervision. It's a shame because he could have disappeared so many other people. He could have, executions. So his execution games. I don't know much about the situation. I don't know anything. I did read a headline. Apparently, his nickname was the Butcher of Tehran. That's what they call him, the Butcher. And because I would assume he was either into, like, he was really into farming and farm to table sort of kind of guy, but could be taken for, he could have been butchering people, because and it's hard to come by that nickname unless you're a really good butcher, or you conduct mass murders, either you do it yourself or you get others to do it. But again, it is a tragic circumstance, because again, so many under his rule, so many rapes could have kept on happening. Oh, countless rapes. It's a sad day for the rape game in the Middle East. Of course, there'll be others, so they will, again, the beard, the turban, and the rope they were safe, so they will place that on another gorilla, and it will business as usual. But it is sad just to see somebody in their evil prime, in their 50s, 60s. Again, I don't know the deets, but again, just when you've committed so many horrendous things and you're like, yes, now I get to really settle into this position and become even more. It's, man, why? Aloha snack bar, we never know. It's the mysteries of the world. Some call it divine intervention. You did your part. There's plenty of evil for more people to do. Get out of here. So it is tragic on many levels. It's tragic that this kind of thing, tragic in a sense that we don't have enough helicopters or fog or mountainous. If there's, 10 to 20 million more of these incidents, and you could say that the Middle East could see some real positive change. But that's what happens when citizens don't have access to arms. When citizens don't have access to guns and arms, this is what you'd hope for at best, that divine intervention, a nice mountain and a nice fog get together and make a baby. And that baby is called crashing magic carpets into just, it's a lot. I know we're all at a loss. I'm personally, I'm a little bit emotional myself, but again, there will be plenty of, it just sucks when somebody's on a good evil run and you're like, yeah, what else can they do? And somebody else will come in. I'm sure of it. But again, hopefully we could learn from this. And again, I'm not sure if it was a magic carpet or if it was helicopter, but I'll say this: helicopters are the safest mode of transport. Let's just keep it. If we've learned anything, helicopters are the most safest mode of transport. And if you're a questionable character out there, take more helicopter trips. Don't don't listen to the hype saying helicopters are irrational and they are the most safe modes of transportation. If you are into, doing sketch shit on a big scale, get in a helicopter. Get in a helicopter today. Helicopters are actually on sale right now. If you are, because there's a yin to yang to all of this. You can't have it all be good. You got to have a little bit. Somebody's got to do the dirty deeds. Somebody's got to be doing the, So yes, again, too soon. So many more people could have been hung under his. Somebody else has to do this now. Somebody else has to now become the butcher of the, it's, again, Aloha snack bar, everybody. I'll say this. Man, ladies and gents, boys and girls, what else has been going on in and around the world? A video has recently surfaced. I don't know if it was. I'll say this. Some of you might have seen this. Some of you might have, Diddy was apparently in the video. It was, but before, there's a video that depicts Diddy just in a hotel somewhere, in a hallway of a hotel somewhere, beating singer, songwriter, Cassie, beating, smacking, potentially throwing, smacking, throwing objects at, and before that, I think if one thing we could learn from, there's many things we could all learn from. One thing we could learn is that maybe not bad boy for life. Maybe that's one thing we could learn, that bad boy for life is a little bit of, it's too late, because nothing is permanent, nothing is constant. The only constant is bad boy for some time. Let's agree on that. Bad boy for life seems like a little bit of a stretch. You can bad boy for some time. I think that's been proven. I think that's doable. Bad boy for life is a lot of pressure to bad boy for life. So one thing we could just say, bad boy for some time. Let's take a year by year. And again, it starts off very I'm not talking about mischievous behavior that, young boys and girls get into when they're young, and then the adolescence, and then early 20s, 30s, 40s. So I'm not talking about just fun little, this, that. I'm talking about actual, bad boys that turn into bad girls, and bad gals that turn into bad boys and bad gals. For life is just a little bit too much pressure. For some time, definitely achievable. So it's all really, once again, it's about setting those goals that are attainable so that you don't disappoint yourself. A lot of people hear this message and they're like, but I wanted to bad boy for life. You can't, it's too much. At one point it gets too much. So there's that video. But I think before that video, if anybody were to ask Diddy, or maybe his representatives, or somebody who's the cleanup crew, the, agents, managers, fixers, handlers, PR people, whatever, whoever's in charge of doing these things, so that, because these things go on and it's behind the scenes, you don't see it, I don't see it. But I guess if the video were to not surface, and you were to maybe ask either Diddy himself, or maybe this is the perspective of either Diddy or one of his representatives, if they were to how do you feel about wife beating? How do you feel about, not that I don't know if they were married or not, but how do you feel about male to woman, male to female, violence, or it's, I would think that he would say something along the lines of first of all, bitches be crazy, and sometimes fine, bitches are crippled, before the video, this is before the video comes out, before, I would say that he would say, or they would say, whoever's it's crazy. What are my thoughts in terms of, wife beating? I'll say this, I'm not, don't support it, not a fan of it. But, and I will say this, it's the craziest thing that nobody talks about, statistically speaking. Females draw to themselves at a lot of times, and this is bees. They draw a swarm of bees all the time to themselves, constantly. They're just getting bombarded by a lot of bees, and so, has Diddy helped out a few bitches out here trying to, escape bees? Yes. Yeah, because, oh God, getting stung by a bee is crazy. It is painful. It is, get away. So yes, and even in the video, we could, even now that the video is out, we could actually look at this and see, maybe there were bees involved. Maybe he was helping her. If they actually see this, and they're like, man, we could have really used this. It was actually bad boy for life still, swarm of bees getting in there. No, but there are instances, there are instances of ladies just attracting a lot of bees to themselves, and you gotta help a bitch sometimes. You just gotta get in there and be like, not today, sweetheart, not today. And that's the thing too. It's not just throwing a lady or like punching or like kicking sometimes you gotta throw objects at the bees that are getting close to the lady. You gotta throw something, anything, just like any object you can find. And that's the thing. This man he's thinking on his feet. Didn't even have time to get proper clothing on. Not, just a robe or just a towel around his waist, just chucking items at a lady, seemingly at a lady. It could have been. That hallway could have been filled with flies and bees, man. You don't see that shit because the image is grainy. It's not. You don't hear a sound either. If you heard, if that video had if the Boom Boom Room boys and gals were involved in this, you would have heard a lot more than you didn't hear in that, the video right there. So I'll say this: for all we know, there have been many instances where Diddy was helping ladies escape bees, helping ladies who've spontaneously combusted and have caught on, they caught fire. He's helped plenty of, I would assume, just watch it, I would assume he's helped a lot of ladies escape bees, a lot of potential fires, hazardous materials. A lot of times, man, a lot of people are like, oh, if it's, you catch fire, stop, drop, and roll. What if it's a large fire? Then you need somebody to step in and just kick you a couple of times, get you rolling down it, because it's so easy to kick and roll somebody down a hill or a flight of stairs. And that's the best way to avoid fires at all costs. If you are anti-fire, anti-heat, get Diddy involved. He will put it out. And, especially if you're a lady, he will do that. So that's, again, but wrong place, wrong time. You know what I mean? It's another relatable, the wrong brothers. It's just one of those times where you're like, man, wrong place, wrong time. Because honestly, this video, this sort of behavior, wrong place, wrong time, in terms of like, if I know it seems like what it is, obviously most of us see this and we're like, no. But honestly, like, I'm not quite sure, maybe the 20s, maybe like the early, 1910s, 1920s, maybe it would have been fine, So again, wrong place, wrong time. But you can't go back in time, and that's not, but wrong place, wrong time. Honestly, if this video was just like viewed by, if he was in the Middle East, honestly, people would be viewing this, like if he was in the Middle East, like Saudi Arabia, the Iran, any of those places, really, I think he would have fit right in. I think they would have looked at the video and just looked a little bit surprised and shocked as to why the rest of the world is like, they'll view the video and what seems to be the problem here. No problem here. I think she was acting out, really. If you look into it, she was probably stepping out of line and he put her in her place, like any rational man would do. Hamala. How else do you keep the lady in line? Got to beat her sometime. Am I right, everybody? Hamala, ha. So, again, wrong place, wrong time. I think that, again, remove the person, put him in a different setting. I think it would have just been another afternoon, just another Wednesday afternoon. Just again, it's perhaps it's just like, get to know the audience. Who are you performing for? Again, that is just like, let's go. And the Middle East is like, yes. He just beat the women, no children, no elderly. Why no? And it's a shame, because again, you do see people trying their best, but it's just fitting in is sometimes very difficult in terms of like, get to know the audience. And that's because I get it. I get when you're bad boy for life and you're constantly traveling to different places, you pick up things from different regions and you come back, you bring it, and you might be there. You might be in Dubai. So I don't even know if you were in Dubai. I'm just saying you might be somewhere that, like, Sub-Saharan Africa, Middle East, somewhere, picking up a few, habits, traditions, and you might bring it along and everybody's like, whoa. And then, again, it's just one of those instances, again, bad boy for some time, And if we've learned anything from all of this is that Aloha snack bar, I'll say this, ladies and gents, boys and girls. Thank you once again for joining me. It's been a pleasure, obviously, being here with you. I'll be back here again on Friday. Love you all. Have a fantastic week. It's Wednesday. Go get it out there, but get it in here as well. Where can you find these videos? On Instagram, on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram, subscribe on the YouTube channel, leave a comment, hit the likes, help it grow. It's a little, you know, that's the way we motivate the algorithm. That's the way we tickle each other from afar, from a near. That's the way we get things to grow these days. So do that if you like. Subscribe. Once again, I'll like to remind you to subscribe. It helps. What else? Patreon.com/RobSadri. That's what else. Patreon.com/RobSadri is where you can go to fiscally, financially support this beautiful show so that again it grows, because we like growth. Nobody likes a penis if it's constantly just in shrinkage mode. Everybody likes a penis that grows. Likewise, labias. Likewise, nipples. We like to see nipples grow. Well, we do like to see nipples shrink when they do get cold. That's a reverse on nipple, but that doesn't matter. The point is that we like to grow around here, and we like to do it naturally, organically, pharmaceutically if need be. Get out of here while you can, and talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. Pass it around with your family and friends and all that jazz. I'll be back here again on Friday. Love y'all. Peace out.